What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tastes Like Music. Jason and Joe here. Album of the Week series, the series in which we review albums submitted by our patrons over on Patreon. Second week in a row, we got some hip hop to talk about after having really never talked about it before on the channel. I don't know. It seems like the game that we're playing is taking a turn, uh, where people are really deciding now that the objective maybe is to challenge us a bit, which is fine. There's no rules, but yeah. This one quite a different hip hop record than the one last week. If you didn't see that video, we reviewed the Deltron 3030 record. The one we're talking about today is from 2005. It is called Absence by Dälek, MC Dälek, Octopus, Still. I really have never heard of this before. I really don't know where this comes from. Is this Rate Your Music core?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last one was too. Deltron 3030 was Rate Your Music Core, but like that's like the kiddie pool. Like this is the deep end. Like
Yeah.
we're not getting any like lessons in rap. We're not taking it easy. They're just like throwing us directly into the deep end with this one.
Yeah, quite different. The big difference is all the noise, I think. Very noisy, abrasive record. It starts out with just vocals. The first track is just like an a cappella rap happening. Then you get like a bar of some upright bass comes in. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like a jazz rap thing. And then it just hits you with noise and it doesn't let up the rest of the way. Yeah, I saw a review that called it the Loveless of hip hop, which maybe, I don't know. There's a couple moments of relief where, like, at the very end of Asylum, things drop out, and it's so harsh that when you get that second where it drops out and it's just his voice at the end of that track, it's such like a relief. The other thing about this record, a lot of long tracks. Only 10 tracks, but it's 57 minutes, and you got a couple tracks that are short. So most of the other tracks are like 6, 7+ minutes. And it seems to be assembled with like the intention of exhausting the listener. You get one kind of like ambient sort of piece that's not as harsh called Coner, Conair, that's a little more just like peaceful ambient, but really the rest of it is very, I don't know, it's interesting. I did find like um some of it like where I could see if it wasn't so harsh, where it would be kind of appealing almost, because I felt like there was some interesting like things happening harmonically and like quarterly with the guitars, if it's guitars or just like synth or whatever it is. But there's some like interesting things that you don't hear in rap or hip hop all the time, where there's actually some like interesting chord changes and things happening, but it's so just the high end frequencies are just hitting you so hard. Like I actually had to like put my finger in my ears a few times because it was like painful, like physically painful. So yeah, I don't know. I thought the rapping was fine. It was buried though. Like it was hard to even pay attention to what was happening with the vocals because it was just um kind of underneath this layer of like fuzz the entire time. I don't know. I think I don't hate it as much as people expect me to. Like I said, I found the rapping to be sufficient and musically kind of interesting. If you rolled off the high end, this might be as good as Deltron. I'm not sure, but that is the hurdle, I guess. For me, I'm at a 1.5 on
Ooh.
this. I didn't like it, but I don't know. I could see some merit in it.
Well, all right. So 1.5. This one was chosen by JL Magic, our prolific Rate Your Music rating friend. And the weirdest thing was he said he thought I was gonna like it. And I was intrigued by that because I read like the Spotify description, which might be from Wikipedia, but they name drop like Death Grips, Clipping, Faust, Velvet Underground, 1000 Nubauten, like all these like really just bands I don't like, very underground, alternative, krautrock stuff. I don't like any of that. It all stinks. So that was very surprising. He thought I would like it. I guess he just thinks I like rap. and I do in many cases. But this album really just, I mean, it grinds on you. It grinds you down into like little bits because it's just so much of that, like you said, high frequency, like creaking metal machinery. Like it sounds like you're in like a factory that's like falling apart and like things are rubbing together and like the mechanisms are just like, they need grease, they need something, they're falling apart. And it's just the entire time is that noise. And that really, it obfuscates what's going on underneath to a degree that makes it unpleasant. And I know maybe that's the point of the album. Like, if the music is supposed to be a metaphor, I think it's successful. If it's a metaphor for, the aging mechanisms of America grinding to a halt, the crumbling, bending, breaking supports, holding up the political machinations of a racist, broken country, sure, I'll buy that. If that is your metaphor, your music is your metaphor, that's a great, work of art to have that. And it's very political rap. It's very aggressive. Dalek, Dalek has a aggressive, kind of angry flow to him. You believe him, it reminds you a little bit of like Chuck D, and it's got, underneath all the machinery, the metal sounds. I think the beats are good. Like they remind me of the Bomb Squad a little bit from Public Enemy. Very like, kind of stripped to the basics, but really hard, steady, violently heavy. It's just too much though. Like it's literally just too much. Like I would like to like this kind of music. But I don't know. The length of these songs is too much. If each of these songs was like 1 or 2 minutes, I think it'd be much more interesting. If there was a little bit more variety in the sounds, like a little bit more, even if it was just like a couple more ambient tracks to kind of take the edge off, I think that would go a long way. It's just, it feels more like a piece of art than it does a piece of music that anyone would actually want to listen to. Just the constant drones, the unchanging beats, the accusatory rapping. There's like a few scratches, some turntable stuff here and there, but it just seems like everything gets lost underneath all the drones, and it's really hard to tell the songs apart. I have no idea what anything is called. Very little, variety there. There's no like features or guest spots or anything. Eyes to Form Shadows, a little bit different. It's got this like grotesque carnival sound to it. And Ever Somber, like you could almost, like if you squint, you could maybe hear like a Deftones song in there a little bit. But yeah, the best part for me was the 30-second acapella at the start of Distorted Prose, where you're like, okay, this guy, he sounds good, he can rap, he's got something to say, and then it just crushes you under the drone. So I'm at like 2.5, and it's like zero point 0.5 is for the artistic merit, 2 stars for the actual listening experience. But I don't know. I almost felt like strangely attracted to the sound a little bit at certain points where it was just like, I don't know, it was like listening to cicadas or something, where it was just like you almost get used to it. And you almost like start to kind of be like, okay, this is kind of normal, but it was just too much. It's too much for my ears, and I don't particularly care for this type of drone industrial hip hop, and I don't think that will ever change.
No. Neither you nor I. So we'll see where this weekly thing takes us. It seems like the crowd has turned on us a bit. Um, but if you're interested in participating, you can head over to our Patreon. Links in the video description. Otherwise, let us know what you think of the record in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.